Cool. Number 6, ZigZag conversion. The string PayPal is hiring. What the? It's like a sponsored poem. Anyway, the string is written in a ZigZag pattern on a given number of rows like this. You may want to display this pattern in a fixed font for better legibility, something like that. And then read by line, and you have some other mumbo stuff. Write the code that would take a string and make this conversion given a number of rows. Okay. Okay. I mean, I guess so. I'm trying to figure out what this means in a zigzag pattern. Oh, is just vertically. What is a zigzag pattern? Oh, I see. The row is number 4 makes it clearer, I guess. uh, the what was number 3? It doesn't show the zigzag clear enough, I think. But I'm glad that they actually put an additional example. Otherwise, I'm just gonna be confused for a little bit more. But I guess they don't tell you any of the constraints again. But hmm, yeah, okay. How do I want to do this? I mean, for this kind of problem, it's just it's a little annoying. But I think you just have to do some math on the indexes. But because the columns are irrelevant, I think. So you just kind of do it back and forth, really, and then and then kind of bucket them together in the right place. Um, so yeah, I think that's mostly it. I'm just gonna play around. But I mean, this is also a type of problem where I play around until I get it right. I think there's just some like a lot of modular math e stuff. Because so for n is equal to 4, you go from 0 to 3 to 4, 5, 6 to 9 and right 7, 8, 9. Yeah, so you could probably do some modular math that way. Okay. Also, I should learn something that's C++. Uh, yeah. Imagine you get this in an interview. Yeah, I mean, at least you could ask them in a like how to like for clarifications. But I actually have. I mean, I haven't done it in a while, but I have not this one, but like I definitely ran into like formatting program. Yeah, like interview problems before, and it's always annoying. It's just like you know. I mean, I think maybe it makes sense back in the day when people are using Linux and everything is in a command line, because I guess that's a real thing, like formatting things right and printing things out in a cool way, making ASCII arts or something. I don't know, but I feel like I don't know. I haven't done stuff like that, in real life like that. But I don't know. Yeah. uh, I mean, people do have a lot of fun with command line stuff in Linux. I do miss that a little bit, so I don't know. But yeah. Okay. Okay. So this is going to be n squared, I think. I don't know if there's an easy way to do that, but yeah. Okay. What's the clean way to do this? Well, the first one is just all the things that are modded by number of rows minus 1. So, yeah. Number of, yeah. Something like that. But this is not generic. It's just, so yeah, maybe I shouldn't do it this way then. No, then this is also not right. let's just say this is true, and we'll have a condition later inside the loop. I don't think so. I think, yeah, I mean, you could certainly do things recursively and backtracking, but I think you could probably just do it with some math, which is what I'm trying to maybe do. But wish me luck first, and then I don't know. So this is for the seventh row. So we want a flag to be on the left or on the right of this number. So I'm just kind of drawing the thing in my head a little bit. So I think there are two cases, right? Like basically you want to this thing. So actually, something like that. Well, this -1. Yeah, in this case, maybe. There's some like weird offset with respect to I. So you want the current number, you take it plus I, and then you also add the one that's, like in this case, I'm looking at I want to add the A and then the L, which is Sj plus number of rows -1 plus plus 2 times number of rows minus I, something like that. Yeah, I think this is roughly right. There's a edge case where we have to take account when I is equal to number of rows -1, but I think this is roughly right. Let me just point it out to see. I think we would get double counted these P and I's, but well, I forgot that this is an infinite loop because I didn't check. But okay. J plus I. Else we break. If J plus I. We insert or else also we break. That means we're done with this row. Okay. Okay. Well, that's not quite expected. Oh no, I'm looking at the wrong one. Okay, let's see what I'm doing here instead then. Where's the I coming from? The number of rows. Oh, am I double counting stuff as well? This is this -1, I think. Okay. This is still very well. All right, let me just do the 4 example so I could visualize it easier. Okay, Pi didn't do the end though. Yeah, this is a mess. Maybe I just do this. Except for we need to do this first. I think that's a little bit more what we want. that we don't need to break. May double count, or should double count be right? We'll just put in the logic later. Well, okay. We don't have to worry about this. No, actually, because we need to check this first. Yeah. Oh, hey, cool guy 93. Nice to see you out again. Okay, so PP. Why is S the next one? Am I off by one? I guess so. So this is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And this first go from 0 to 6, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Why is this? Let's just print the result each step of the way. Maybe that'll help. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Why is it returning S? Am I just really bad at math? Oh man, because I did this here. And even though I want this to be the actual, oh my god. Oh, silly. Okay, I mean, at least it's kind of doing things the right way though. At some point, it doesn't terminate fast enough, because this could be, well, this could still be out of bounds, but maybe that's fine. Okay, that's kind of what we want. Let's keep this here for now. If G plus I is 1, we break. Let's put that here, then we can take this out, and then we say if I is greater than 0. Okay. That should get rid of the dupes, and now I have to do the other rows, which I've done. The point of me trying to do this is that I get the other rows, but this doesn't happen, but this should happen. Yeah, right? You get to see someone debugging. Why is this not true? Did I increment or decrement something along the way? I guess technically it's a unsigned int. Oh, I guess I is 0. Okay, I mean that part is fair. Then why does this not go? Okay, -1 is less than. Do I break early? Should we break out? Oh my. This is probably just a bad coding somewhere too. That's the sad part. Let's move that out there. I think I'm very close, but actually not sure why it is. Be doing something really dumb. Well, probably. But what? No, I mean, I thought I was careful about it, but that's why I do number of rows and stuff. Right? That or this is. I mean, this should always just be true to begin with, right? Am I dumb? Well, I mean, don't answer that. Yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe I'm just okay. So that. Oh my god! I know what it is, and I'm just. Oh my god! I mean, I even hinted at it. That's why programming is hard, because this is an unsigned int. That's why it's never true. For again, if you compare it to a negative number, I hate my life. That's what happens when you know a language, but you don't use it quite enough. Oh my gosh! I mean, that at least that's a real thing, right? That and that's something that like, if you use C++ enough, you definitely just do it probably like innately. And I made this mistake in the past. It's just I keep, or like when you don't use the language enough, this comes up. And I think in most other languages is. And like you could do, I don't know if they're ints or unsigned ints, but you can compare them in a more non-dumb way. But yeah, gosh dang it. What a, okay, whoops. Okay, I mean there's still an off. It's mostly right, but there's like an off by one somewhere. Where did the PIs come from? No, some of the PIs is okay, but like yeah. The last. Oh, I knew about this one. I knew that I was going to double count the last row. I was just gonna, well, spend too much time on this thing. Well, yeah, I mean that's a cool lesson to learn. I mean, not cool, but it is something that comes up actually a lot when you do C++. So in C, it's not just C++. Well, but eh, uh, you live and you learn, and hopefully you make these things enough times, you remember it. It's great. But okay, back to the problem at hand. The double counting. Okay. Uh, Double counting happens on the I minus one row. Okay, so I think it's just here. Tearing my head out over that one. Yeah, okay, let's try the other case first. No. No, I guess I don't have to print anymore. Well, I guess look at the answer first. Yeah, it matches. I don't have to print anymore. Oh, what a silly mistake. Let me see. I'm gonna have to look at the tape to see how much time I wasted on it. Everything was, fingers crossed. Time limit exceeded. Yeah. Oh. I guess this is just probably always be 0 as a result. So it doesn't. Man, I knew I should have tested more. Sorry, I think I just got too tilted on that size thing. I think if you look at the stream, I usually have been slightly more careful about it, but yeah. I would say if you have, I mean, I don't. I mean, the answer is probably yes. I think that's something that I actually mentioned. I haven't mentioned it on this one yet, but an optimization that I would always talk about is what was an optimization that I talk about is that you string buffer or something like that. And actually, in this case, you could do better because you know that the end result string is going to be on it's going to be of size s, like it's a fixed length, right? It's a size n where n is the size of string s. But yeah, is it? Not sure, but the way I'm doing it is not quite. Oh, yeah, maybe it could be that they do it as a list, maybe, but I don't know. Either way, like that's just like a good thing to think about. So definitely thank you for pointing it out. I mean, and there's definitely optimization about it, and that's like the number one like rookie mistake that a lot of people make in general, right? Is that like we string concatenations and a lot of modern languages are gonna trip people up, and you have to use like string buffer type thing in our language. Oh yeah, of course, I didn't fix the thing. If rows is 1, then what do we do? Oh, yeah, I guess if rows is 1, we just return the string, right? Maybe that's fine. I'm too lazy to kind of generalize this. Oh, what did I do? That out, but okay. Can number of rows be 0? That would just be evo, but let's see what happens. Actually, I make a. Don't know if that's expected or whatever, but I guess I'm just gonna try it anyway. Might as well fix for it. I'll take into it after I submit and fix this or whatever. Yeah, fingers crossed. Okay, cool. Ooh, fast. So we didn't even. I mean, I probably could still clean up the things, but okay. What to say here? Well, one is, man, today has been a lesson. There are a lot of silly mistakes, and I read the problem wrong a few times, but yeah. So definitely, yeah. Going back, yeah. Whenever you use string and return string, make sure you really understand your language. And here, not gonna lie, I'm not familiar with the implementation details of C++ string. So, but in general, a lot of more modern language, like the newer JVM-based languages, especially, the you're going to need to use string buffer and stuff like this. Actually, I could have optimized it a little bit to query I didn't need to by just using a char array or something like that, and then just convert it to a string once it later, or something like that. Or if it's mutable, then you could just create a string of length n or something. I don't know how to describe. I mean, it is a medium. I think you could have done this with math. I think the ZigZag is just kind of a little distracting, in that like it didn't have to be in, the diagonal adds nothing. You could just go up and down really, which is how I thought about it. And this example is a little clearer. The n is the number of rows you go to 4 and that's how I kind of did the math because you notice that the top row, which is how I kind of structured, it's just when I matched this thing. Yeah, it's just like a certain offset away, and then you kind of calculate offsets from that. It's a little hand wavy of an answer, but I don't really think I could answer it better because this is one of those things where, like I think conceptually there's not that much, it's not hard conceptually. It's just that you have to implement it in a clean way that, lends itself not to, then, like in a way that you're confident and not make mistakes about it and take care of all the edge cases, which is way easier said than done for sure. You've seen me struggle for a couple of them, even including them, just a very obvious one. And this one is just language specific. That's like me paying tuition with my time. But yeah, I mean, this is definitely one where I think nowadays people, at least on the tougher interviews, they focus more on algorithms. And in that sense, I haven't seen this kind of problem in a while, but I've definitely have heard about them and seen them. Not this particular one, but these kind of formatting, like draw a pyramid or draw I don't know, draw random art, like draw a diamond and a whatever, right? Like those are things that yeah, I mean, there's not much to describe. You just have to code them, and the way I do it, which I don't know, depends on the interviewer. Maybe sometimes people get put off by it. It's just, what you saw here, where I try and error just to like have a general outline and kind of how I want to do it, and then I'm going to actually implement it, and then kind of see what I get, just to see, because a lot of the time it's just off by ones and offsets and so forth, and just about putting the right things in the right place, which is, I mean, annoying but doable. But I don't know, it just feels very luck based, and like. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say luck in the sense that, like, I don't know. I mean, I consider myself like okay at these, right? And today, you see me kind of struggle with a couple of random problems, and I wouldn't call it luck. It's just, like, maybe not my strength today, or just I have a bad day or whatever, right? I'd consider that part of the luck per se. And of course, you could mitigate it by practicing a lot, maybe. But yeah, I also, to your point, I also don't like would not like seeing these kind of problems in an interview in general. It's not what I think it's not part of my, like it's not what I'm better at than other people at my skill level, if that makes sense. So, yeah. And yeah, I think one more thing I would say to this is, if I was, so yeah, let me go. I kind of hand waved this a little bit, but I shouldn't have. Yeah, I mean, I think I expect to see this problem and stuff like that. I think one thing I would talk about in an interview, especially for specifically this kind of problem. I mean, for all problems in general, but even more specifically, that's applicable to these type of problems, especially like the string formatting one, is that I would mention how if I'm writing this code in production, first, and you don't, at least on Leetcode, it's not easy to do it as far as I could tell. I mean, you kind of do this console test case thing, but the first thing I would kind of bring up is that I would start by TDD, because this is already this is a problem that lends itself very easily to just like you could manually write out the problem and an answer manually, right? Because everything is quote unquote straightforward. So then I would start out with like a lot of test cases, and then kind of incrementally build toward satisfying all your test cases, right? And this is like standard software engineering stuff, and for sure, if you're not familiar with it, read up TDD type things. But that's something that I would mention and kind of work toward that, hopefully. at least inspire confidence. Because and I would actually have mentioned that earlier in the interview, so that it, yeah, like I said, it inspires a little confidence your interviewer. In that, like, you're not just doing it blind and like coding it randomly or whatever. So the first thing I would do is maybe like, and this depends on the environment of where you're interviewing, but I would like maybe, create like test cases and stuff like this. Actually, I don't know how to do it quickly in C++. I mean, except for writing it manually. Uh, but in Python, for example, there are a lot of test suites that kind of help you like just be like, okay, here's X, here's what we expect f of x to be, which is your function inputs, and then you write a couple of lines of these. And for this one, it's easier to kind of do them manually. How come I didn't save my earlier test cases, which is kind of sad. But like, you could kind of see them that way, and then yeah, knock them off one by one. And that's kind of how I would kind of talk about working on this problem. Because beyond that, there's not that much to talk about. There's no algorithmically, there's not that much to talk about, right? Like you just kind of do it and hopefully you get the offsets right or whatever, right? But yeah, and for complexity, you could just count the for loops. So I kind of glazed over that one a little bit, which is excuse me, number of rows times, or actually just O of n, right? Because we look at each character once or twice pretty much. We skip a little bit for double counting, but essentially once or twice. So O of n is kind of your complexity, even though the two for loops actually. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, it's two for loops, but it actually counts. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so this is actually linear. In in time and space, there's no extra space other than like the result string, maybe, if you want to count that. Which technically, if you want to count that, then it's O of n. If not, then it's O of one, right? Um, I don't think you could do it in place, can you? Because you overwrite stuff. Maybe you could structure the for loop in a way to do it in place. I don't know if it's worth my time to do that, but that's just something maybe I would point out that I know to think about possibly, but not necessarily. Okay. Yeah, I think that's all I have for this problem. Other than that, I don't like it.